with this rap hits. So 6ix9ine was doing this lie detector test with Neon and Aiden Ross and them. And so they were doing this for content, but the lie detector test dude is official. He's been on a lot of different outlets and different channels doing this with people. So he seems to be pretty accurate when it comes to his testing process. And as 6ix9ine was taking his lie detector test, he actually admitted that the authorities had questioned him about that home invasion and if he was involved in setting it up himself.
And I don't want y'all to be scared of action. Just,
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't care. Nothing legal. I got you.
Nothing I got to do with my case is nothing, because the government, listen to me. I just had a home invasion, right? When my mom got put at gunpoint. They waited for me to leave my house. It was nobody from the outside. It's somebody in this gated community, because there was no car that came in and no car that left. Somebody out of 233 homes where I live at saw that I was on stream. White boys took advantage of my mom's kindness and did that shit. The government is, I won't say who in the government was so dirty to question me like if I had something to do with my own home invasion. That's disgusting. So when I say not legal, it's because the government is so dirty they would use this for my sentencing to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything. That's the only reason to say no legal, because the government is disgusting.
I can vouch.
After I sat down and testified, because people was planning to kill me, I helped the government. That's the same government that's trying to put me in jail right now. I'm not actually not legal. It's disgusting.
When I was in Dubai jail, they pulled up my clips, my Twitter clippers. That's on my mother's life. Neon HQ and Neon Lines. And Fearbuck. They pulled all them up.
Disgusting.
I swear that's he's right.
Probably kick camp too, right?
All of them, bro.
And then they told me, yo,
they put all that
don't
shit.
post none of the videos from the home invasion. Why? Because y'all don't want the world to know that you guys, the government, posted my cooperation for the world to know and then said you can even have guns around you to protect yourself. That's disgusting.
This world's cooked.
Do you think in 2018 you were the biggest artist?
Yes.
It's not even a question.
So look, I had reported on this from the beginning. I had said something was suspicious about that lie detector test. Now, the feds didn't give him the lie detector test, and 6ix9ine made sure that he took no questions about the home invasion on that program with Neon and Aiden Ross. I think it looks like he was shook to me. He wanted to make sure, after he saw that this dude was real good at that lie detector test and knew what was true, knew what was false, and 6ix9ine was actually getting everything accurate when he was asked questions. He was getting everything right. The lie detector test dude kept saying, yeah, it was the truth, the truth, the truth, everything he said. So I think 6ix9ine had gotten nervous that a question might come up about the home invasion. And, you know, he thought he would have been jammed up at that point. So he stood up and said that, hey, look, don't ask me no questions about that home invasion. So he said it was disgusting that the authorities would ask him about that. I have a feeling that maybe he might have been involved. This is my opinion, because the way he was so shook about that dude asking him, or anyone asking him about the home invasion, you know what I'm saying, and if he was involved in it. I think he knows that if he would have answered that question, you know what I'm saying, it might have came accurate that, yeah, he might have been involved, because I told you in my last video why I believe he might have been involved. I said it's my speculation that, well, look at what happened. He got his sentencing pushed back once again. And so he was supposed to have been sentenced already. This was before Thanksgiving. He was supposed to have been sentenced. Now he's about to be sentenced this week, I believe it is. So we'll find out if he's going to do some jail time. The authorities were looking into this now, we're seeing, and wondering if 6ix9ine was pulling some stuff with that home invasion to try to maybe delay sentencing. Plus, there's another motive. The other motive is that 6ix9ine isn't allowed to have armed security. This is part of why he's facing more time. It's because they found a thumper when they raided his home and some substances that he might have been taking. So he fessed up to the substances, and I don't remember if he fessed up to the thumper, but his excuse apparently was that he needs armed security and there's thumpers around him. And I guess with his status of a felon, it's a gray area as to whether or not he should even be allowed to be around thumpers, especially while he's on probation. That's the main thing. He's still completing his parole for telling on Treyway. And, you know, when they found that thumper, I guess they're saying that, well, 6ix9ine's trying to say he needs it for security because, you know, he's a celebrity and everything like that. So he's trying to convince them, hey, you know, let him have some thumpers around him because he needs that for protection. And the courts are saying, nah, you can't have that. You can't have no thumpers around you. So now 6ix9ine's going around. Well, he was on another dude's stream called Jack Dotrey or something. I forget his name. Some dude that streams, and he was on there live. And while he was on live with him, he had to leave the live, and he said his home was being robbed. And you know what I'm saying, he was saying like he needs to go because they got his mom, and you know what I'm saying, and his home was being robbed at the time, or that live. They saw him on live, and they took that opportunity to run up in his house. So he abruptly went over there to check on his mom and make sure everything's good. And it turns out, well, he's been going around saying that he can't have armed security. He's been complaining about that. And I believe that could be a motive as well, as far as, you know, he's showing the courts, hey, look what happened with his house. He said he's not allowed no security, and now his place is getting robbed, and his mom was in danger. He needs armed security. He's trying to show the courts, and that's what I believe one of his main motives was to show the courts that, hey, he needs armed security in that home to protect his family and his loved ones. And so whether you agree with that or not, the point is that would be a motive. Well, that's what I found suspicious, was not only did he get his sentencing delayed, but now he has a strong motive to tell the courts that he needs armed security. His celebrity's too high for him to be walking around with no armed security. It's making him a target, he's saying, and his safety's in jeopardy. And, you know, I mean, when it comes down to it, I think he might have a point there. I mean, just to be unbiased in this whole situation, regardless of what you think about 6ix9ine, you know, I mean, the way the courts are seeing it is he can use that as an excuse to have a firearm, especially while he's on probation and parole. I think once he completes his parole, maybe that's a different story. Maybe then he could qualify. I think as long as he's on probation and parole, because he really could be in jail, and he could be getting sentenced to up to 9 months, they said. Prosecutors want him to be, they're asking for like 9 months. 6ix9ine, well, I think it's like 3 to 9 months. The judge, we'll see what he gives him. We'll see what he gives him. But 6ix9ine is asking for house detainment. You know, he's asking for house arrest, because right now he's on house arrest while everything's pending. He's saying he's been doing good on house arrest, and he's requesting that he could just finish off, you know, saying whatever sentence he has on house arrest instead of going into jail, because they're going to want him back in New York and everything, from what I understand. The same place that had Diddy locked up while he was awaiting trial. So, and then I'm hearing that that's where they want to put 6ix9ine back up in there. And he's trying to say, let him just do house arrest, he's trying to say, and let him get armed security. So I don't know. I mean, if he made a move where, well, the authorities are definitely onto him. If he was involved in that, that could be new charges. Because, like you said, nobody came in and out the gates. That was my first red flag. I was like, ain't nobody come in and out them gates. Because when you come in them gates to get to 6ix9ine's house, you go through gates, and then you still got to drive like 15 minutes to get to his house. He said there's about 230 homes in the area. How are you going to have people in that area, you know, they pretty well off? If that's a gated community, obviously they ain't no real street people in that area that's trying to run up in people's homes. That's like a protected community. So I don't see what's the chance of, you know, someone from that area, even if there's some of these kids or not, whatever, whoever it is, how you going to have people running up in 6ix9ine's place in that gated community? That'd be pretty rare, I would think. You would think it'd be someone from the outside of that community. Not saying that it couldn't happen, just it was very suspicious, the timing and everything. So if he gets if it ends up that he was involved in setting that up, and the authorities said don't put out no more footage of that or nothing. So TMZ's been putting out footage. I guess he must have sold that to them. I don't know how they obtained it otherwise. I mean, 6ix9ine might have sold that to TMZ for publicity, is what it looks like. And so the authorities are saying don't put out no more of that footage. Lay low while we figure this out. Now, doesn't sound like authorities are for sure if that was 6ix9ine involved, but it looks like they're looking into it. If it turns out 6ix9ine was involved in setting that up for a media, for some type of media campaign and to game the system, and he was behind that whole home invasion thing, 6ix9ine is going to be looking at some new charges, and it's not going to be good for him. So we'll see how this turns out. Let me know in the comment section, do you think 6ix9ine was involved in setting up that home invasion for a publicity stunt? Or do you think it was legitimately robbers hitting his home? What do you think? So let me know in the comment section. I'm going to leave some links for y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe and everything like that. Follow Rap HITZ on social media. I'm out.